We're joined in the studio by Louise Houghton from the People's Vote campaign in South West Yorkshire. Good morning to you. So how would you convince Melanie's constituents, 7 out of 10 of them voted to leave, that we need another referendum?
I wouldn't. I think that's the important thing. It's not about my individual views or Melanie's individual views or indeed the views of all her constituents. It's not about each individual constituency. It's about the country, and it's the whole country now that is being taken out of Europe. And if there is a chance that that's not their will now, and this will of the people thing that is used a lot is, I think we're all a bit sick and tired of hearing that. But if that is what we want, then let's find out if this is the will of the people in 2019, because this is our lives, this is our job.
Just to be clear, what exactly are you calling for?
We would have a second referendum on any deal that we come up with, because any deal that they're proposing at the moment is not what was suggested in 2016. It wasn't what was offered by the Leave campaign. Nobody seems to like the options. There's something against every deal, every option they come up with. So let's come up with something that carries the most support in Parliament and then put that back to the people. And there should be nothing to be afraid of. I was sitting outside talking to one of your earlier guests, her father, and he said, yep, absolutely, let's put it back to the people. If that's it, no worries about that, because they'll vote Leave again. I'm not convinced they will. I think most people, we were out in Wakefield yesterday and we were approached by the mood. You said earlier about the change in temperature and the moods. People were very curious. People were making a beeline for our stall and were saying, feel like a sense of relief from Remainers. But from Leave voters, we had people coming up to us and saying, please can we sign your petition? But we voted Leave, and when questioned why, they said because we didn't think they were going to win. It was a bit of a laugh. It seemed like a good idea. So many different reasons why people voted.
Jean's been in touch and said apparently there was a poll in the Grimsby Telegraph, and the result in that was 67% now want to remain in the EU. Have people changed their minds?
I don't think to that degree. I think that there has been a shift from 70%. I think there have been some in-depth polls that have taken place that indicate maybe between 5 and 8% change. That would still leave us as one of the largest Leave voting areas in the whole country. And I think it's a perfectly legitimate stance to say, let's try this again. But I've just got a problem with the referendum. I think we've done it really badly once. Why do we want to have another go at it again? And it seems entirely incompatible with our parliamentary system. So we ask everybody what they think on something, and then we ask the representatives to go and implement it. And obviously it's proven to be incredibly difficult. And we've had this week indicative votes for parliamentarians. So what would you be prepared to accept? If we're moving forward with the Brexit legislation, and if we were to do that for MPs, I suspect in a second referendum, there's an argument that will be put forward that says, well, let's offer people different variants of what they see as Leave. Let's give them a grading. And I think if it's just going to be accept any deal or don't accept any deal, I think there probably needs to be some form of alternative in that, and I just don't see it settling the issue.
But
is my ultimate view.
Should be leading this, and people talk a lot about the will of the people, and your constituents voted to Leave as if it's an opinion poll and you're a delegate in Parliament. You're not. You lead us. We were given this choice on a very, very complex issue and made to feel as if it was something really simple. We now trust you, or if we still have that trust, but come up with a solution and then ask us if that's what we wanted, because you should be leading this.
If your side won another referendum, if it were to happen, wouldn't the Leavers just come back and say, well, let's make it best of 3?
It's not best of 3. This is actually voting on the actual deal. Beforehand, it was all just sound bites and nice ideas. And the Leave campaign, to be fair, sold a happy future for everyone, a sunlit uplands. It was great. They sold happiness. And to be fair, the Remain campaign were based on it's going to be really bad if we don't. It was all negative. And people are naturally drawn towards the happy side of it. Well, now people know that people are losing their jobs. They know about the millions of pounds being taken out of our investments, and that's our tax money that's coming in, and the impact on our public sector. Do we really believe this is genuinely what the country wants in 2019?
Hold that thought. We'll come back to you in a minute. Very briefly, Louise, running out of time, wouldn't a general election be the best way of breaking the deadlock rather than a referendum?
No, it's the last thing the country needs is a general election now. The MPs now need to step up and find a solution and lead us, be honest about what this is going to do for the country and lead us in this.
Thank you all for your thoughts today. Very interesting times in the wonderful world of politics.